In this video, we want to do a couple of practice problems involving linear inequalities. So let's consider the problem x divided by 3 plus 4 is less than 1. Go ahead and try it. To make this an easier problem, in my solution, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Multiplying by 3 is not an issue. We don't have to flip the inequality sign when we multiply by a positive number. So when I distribute to 3, I get x plus 12 must be less than 3. I'll subtract 12 from both sides. And I end up with x being less than 3 minus 12 is negative 9. So when I go to graph that, I'll put an open hole at negative 9. And I will include the numbers to the left of that. Let's just verify that this is in fact the answer by trying negative 10. Let's try this in the original equation. So negative 10 thirds plus 4 should be less than 1. So negative 10 thirds would be plus 4. Well, let's convert the 4 into thirds. So that would be plus 12 thirds. Needs to be less than 1. And so we end up with 2 thirds when we add negative 10 thirds and 12 thirds. And 2 thirds, make it clear that that's thirds. Change that real quickly. Negative 10 thirds plus 12 thirds gives me 2 thirds. And 2 thirds is less than 1, so that works out very nicely. Let's try a number on the other side of it, like 1. And if we try 1 in the original equation, that would be x equals 1. We end up with 1 third plus 4 is less than 1 using mixed numbers, 4 and 1 third. Saying that 4 and 1 third is less than 1 is clearly false. So 1, which would be right here, should not be part of the solution as we already determined. So looks like we have correctly solved the first problem. Let's look at a slight variation on this by simply reversing our terms and putting a minus sign in. And look at a second problem. So 4 minus x over 3 is less than or equal to 1. So notice I've also changed this to less than equal to. So let's go ahead and do this problem after you work it out. Okay, so if I'm going to solve this problem, let me, once again, I could multiply by 3. So let's do that in our first step. There are a lot of things you could do. You don't have to get rid of the fractions. But I think my life will be much easier if I multiply both sides by 3. So I end up with 12 minus x needs to be less than or equal to 3. At this point, there are two ways to approach the problem. Okay. Method 1 involves not using multiplication. So method 1, I could add x to both sides and subtract 3 from both sides. Since I did not do any multiplication, I should not be switching any inequalities. So 12 minus 3 gives me a total of 9 on the left side. And we're left with x on the right side. Now you'll notice what happens if I want to put x first. I want to say that x is greater than or equal to 9. So right there I ended up flipping the inequality sign to get that solution. The other way that I could do this is right at the point where I had 12 minus x is less than or equal to 3. I could subtract 12 from both sides and get that the negative of x is less than or equal to the negative of 9. Therefore, I can divide or multiply both sides by negative 1. If the negative of x is less than or equal to the negative of 9, then I could just say that x must be greater than or equal to 9 itself. And we can see that's exactly the solution that we had the first time. So if I want to graph this, 9 is right here. Now notice this time it is greater than or equal to, so I want to include 9 as part of my solution. and I will include everything that's greater than 9. I won't do it here, but if you want to make sure that that's correct, you should take numbers that are greater than 9, like 10, and make sure that they make this statement true. Try 9 itself. So try 10 to see if it makes it true. Substitute 9 in and see if that makes it true. And then probably check a number out that is to the left of the solution, like 1. 1 would be a very easy number to try. And you'll see that 10 and 9 would in fact work, and the 1 would not work, so that the solution that we have is the correct solution.